All right, so I've made a video a few days ago. I think it was February 28th, last Thursday. Um, and not a whole lot happened since then, really. The latest move was a little bit this morning. We had, you know, a short bounce in Bitcoin from 3,700 level to about, 3,850. So about $150 move into Bitcoin. Nothing really earth-shattering there. Um, and we're still we're still in a consolidation mode. Um, there's not a whole lot to say other than what we've talked about, kind of, um, and what we expected in terms of sideways price action and consolidation happened, and eventually we're gonna see if we can move higher. So if this is a wave one, and we are having a pullback in wave two, you can see that 618 flip zone of this first wave one in Bitcoin comes at about 3660. We've came as low as 3700. Could this wave be over? Sure. In this case, if this is over, we're just going to take this wave two and move it from where it is and kind of secure it here and move it up. I want to see a little bit more confirmation for this. And unfortunately, the only one you're going to get is once you pass this origin of wave one. So until then, this wave two can still be in progress, because you can still do a very simple, you have an A move here. Let's say this is a three-way move. So it's a, this, and this to create A. Then you have this wave A, you go up in B, and then you can still come back down in C towards the 786 or towards the zone. So that's why I'm not, super convinced that this is over. And let's just try to be a little bit cautious and just wait and see if this is going to move up. There might be signs here that it is. And if I go down on a 1 hour chart, I think slowly you can start counting an impulsive wave move, right? So if you want to play from the long side, you have 1, 2, and I'm going to go here and just say, okay, this is 1, this is 2, and then you have wave 3 up, we're doing a 4, and then we're going to have a 5 here. Possibly a 3-wave pullback, where if you want to get long, you can probably get long somewhere around 3,800 level, and then look for a move up higher. But remember, this can still be an A, B, C going up, and then we come back down to test those levels. So basically, I think on the short end, if you really want to play this on a smaller time frame, an hour and lower, this is has the characteristic of an impulsive move of a wave one. You're looking for a pullback, and then you can look for a move higher. So this I have confidence in. What I don't have confidence in yet is the fact that we are necessarily moving straight up. So just kind of be careful if you're trading this, and just pay attention that this is a possibility in Bitcoin. Other than that, it looks good. Other cryptos are starting to catch some traction here. This wave count is pretty much the same. And this one, I think I've had it for a while. I'm not sure if I've mentioned in previous videos. I was kind of considering this a wave 4 possibility, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then move up in 5. You can see that this is already extended, and also it's pretty clear that this wave count is invalid, because wave 4 here came in the origin of wave 1. So we can't count that as a valid wave anymore. So I'm going to have to cancel it. And then we're going to go back to our primary, which says that this is wave 1, and we're pulling in 2 before we resume higher in wave 3. So this is in Bitcoin. Let me try to shoot a little bit up higher on the daily chart. Same thing. We have 1, 2. 1, 2, and then we should get a pretty aggressive move up in 3, and this, if this count is correct. So I would just kind of prepare myself for this. All right, enough about Bitcoin. Then let's go to Litecoin. Litecoin continues to surprise, and it's pretty strong. We've had this kind of upward trending channel, multiple channels on Litecoin to see where the levels of support come in. Obviously, we have this labeled as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5. On an alternate wave count, we've had this as an ABC, where if this would be complete, and we are very, very close to completion, it would follow a move down if this would be a bearish count. So we have less and less signs that this is accurate, because it looks like we are about to take over the top of this wave. So let's go down into a 6 hour, and just going to talk a little bit about this. On a 6 hour chart, you can see that the move where wave C is equal with wave A, it's very, very close. If probably on some other platforms it's already reached, so that's a 55.50. If we're moving higher above this, my conviction grows that we're actually in a stronger move, and we're going to continue going up. But as I've said before, this level remains very important in Litecoin, because it could be the top of wave 4, 38% retracement of that move down. So that's why we've had so much fight at this level. So let's see what happens. If we're shooting straight up, then it's good signs for Litecoin for a bullish move ahead. In the primary analysis here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is wave 4. I was thinking that we could probably come back down here toward this other trail line. It didn't happen, which continues to prove that Litecoin is a strong pair. Moves up possibly into this wave 5 to complete wave 3, and then come back down. Let me just I think this is a similar wave count without the subwaves, where we have 1, 2, and then this wave 3, and can go up towards 66, 70, 67 area, because the other one that's 100% is at about I think I have this slightly wrong here, but that's okay. So 168, a 0.8 Fibonacci projection comes at about 66 in wave 3. So this is where I kind of look for this moving Litecoin to be complete before we pull back. And then after we pull back, we should go up in 5 to complete 1, and then come back in 2. So keep an eye on this. We got to shoot up to this level, but Litecoin looks decent, and it looks pretty solid. So all right, Ethereum. Ethereum pulled back a little bit more than the others. You can see how it came wave A, B, and C. Came down to the 618. It touched it right here, and we're pulling back from it. Could this be something similar that Bitcoin is doing? Sure. We could have an A, sorry, this B is supposed to be here. An ABC coming down to complete an A, go back up in B, come back down in C. Sure. You're only going to know if this is done once we move above the top of wave 1. But for right now, there are good signs that the 618 was rejected, at least on the first try, and we might be moving higher. So I'm watching inside this channel, the price action developing, and if we get it, if Ethereum pulls back towards this trend line, that would be a good entry point, stops below this wave 2, and then look for a move higher. So Ethereum also looks good. This is without the channel, 1, 2 into the 618, possible move higher into a wave 3. Again, I think this would be equality where wave, if I'm not mistaken, we go into a daily. Yes, this wave green 3 would be equal with wave 1 at about 200. So we're watching that area in Litecoin. I think I've talked about it before the ideal target for that would be 300 level of this green wave 3, but it's still a while to go until then. We have wave 1, 2, and we still got to complete this 3, 4, and 5 going up before that happens. So things are looking good in Ethereum as well. I'm going to go back to a 6 hour here just for a second. Okay. That's the equality move up there. All right, let's move up to Ripple. Ripple continues to be a mess. It still trades inside this channel. I've tried numerous ways to count this pair, and it's you know, it's the craziest count that you can imagine. So there is nothing. There's nothing, you know, extremely convincing in Ripple yet for the bull side aggressively. You know, I still like it towards the long end. The channel seems to be holding. This bottom trend line has support numerous times. We've bounced off it again. If this is a wave 1 and we pull back into this, you know, nice zigzag here, this move can be aggressive in wave 3. We can go towards 36. Let's see what happens. Ripple fooled a lot of people a lot of times, including me. And, you know, I'm not just going to, you know, hang my head and say, yep, we're going higher straight away, because you never know. So still being cautious here on Ripple. Again, this could be a wave 1, this could be a wave 2, and this is WXY. You know, a little crazy, but I can see a 3-wave move here. 1, 2, 3 in W, then 1, 2, 3 in X, and then 1, 2, 3 in Y. It's accurate. That would be a wave 2. You know, not a big fan of flats into wave 2. This would be a 1, and then you have another 1, A, B, C, and then we move higher. Possible. This looks like an inverted, you know, head and shoulder, some people would call it, maybe. Let's see what happens. Let's watch this level here. Might be important and might give us better clues moving forward in Ripple. All right. Tron, I've talked about it in a previous video as well. Choppy triangle A, triangle B, move down in C. We did drop down a little bit here, but then pulled back. So I don't know if this is a flat and we're pulling back in 2 followed by 3, 4. But again, Tron, it's been extremely choppy in this wave 2 or 4. But we want to see more impulsive moves like this, so we can start counting the right waves here. Until this gets itself resolved, I would be cautious. We could still be pulling back towards this middle trend line here in wave 2. All right, so I think that's a wrap. I'm going to make a quick video about a little bit later about the Binance coin. I think there's some interesting stuff happening there, BNB, and I kind of like what I see. It's also a good example of a clean wave count, of an impulsive wave count. So I'll drop that next. Thanks, guys, and see you later. If you like the content, give me some thumbs up or leave some comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye.